This is Xu Jiaying's final time as a volunteer for refugees in Minamisoma Prefecture. The city lies about 25 kilometers north of the stricken Fukushima nuclear plant. It was almost destroyed by the earthquake-triggered tsunami and nuclear disaster 4 years ago. Xu was studying in Nagoya when the earthquake rocked Fukushima. Some of her foreign professors took vacations abroad after the tragedy. And Xu went home half a year later.
In 2016, I came to Tokyo again. So actually, I was always wanting to do something to help people in that area.
4 years on, and Minamisoma is still playing host to a number of so-called temporary accommodation camps. They were built from simple prefabricated iron, or more often timber, looking more like low-security prisons or some kind of internment. Tens of thousands of the 157,000 people who were forced to evacuate from the vicinity of the nuclear plant now reluctantly call the camps home. Hajime Yamamoto, who works for a notable Japanese construction firm, said hope still existed in these camps a few years ago. That's what kept people going. But the residents now do not believe in anything Tokyo Electric Power or the government of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says. They call them all lies. Yamamoto said these subsidies from either the government or the company cannot meet their basic needs. Decontamination work around the plant could take up to 30 years. The cruel reality has torn families apart. Young people have chosen to rebuild their lives elsewhere, vowing never to return. The elderly prefer to return home, but that means losing a source of life. The Minamisoma Project, an international volunteer group, has been delivering essential food and fresh water aid to these refugees every 2 weeks. Yet the smiles on the evacuees' faces betray their true feelings, that of pain and misery. For many volunteers, their compassion and genuine care may be a gift far more valuable than food or water. But the day's Herculean efforts that saw 6 sizable shelters fed and watered were somewhat bittersweet for the volunteers. Sunday marks the 75th and final mission by the Minamisoma Project due to a lack of funding. Ken Chow, a young man in his 20s, doesn't even live in Japan. He's flown in from Hong Kong 4 times to volunteer. He thinks Abe's government has turned its back on its own people.
I knew this would be the last time, and I wanted to come and see everyone and say hello and see how everything goes on.
Other like-minded organizations will almost certainly pop up to fill in. Yet their efforts further highlight the inadequate provisions made by those who bear the true responsibility.